What's good? Good people. Today we've got a bit of a different video. Today we have a video about what supplements I take and what equipment I use as a 17-year-old that has been going to the gym for about 1 year and 2 or 3 months. So, there's no gym, anything like that. So if you're here for that, move on to the next one or a previous one. We're just keeping it simple and it's getting posted tonight. So, as there won't be much editing to do. So, to begin with, I'd like to say that this is the list of supplements that I take. So I take protein powder, normally in the morning or after a workout. Normally it's protein sludge mixed with Greek yogurt or by itself. I take creatine when I remember it, about 5 to 10 grams, as there's a few things out there that say that you need about 1 gram per 10 kilos of body mass. So I kind of try and stay near that ish. So I just do one really heaped scoop. So it's not exactly 10, but it's closer to 10 than it is to 5. And I also take omega-3 when I remember, and I also take zinc and magnesium as well as that. And then other than that, I'm looking behind there, I don't know why. Acting like all my supplements there. Oh yeah, also pre-workout, stim and non-stim, as I've tried both. So that's my list. I mean, there's others out there that I'm going to talk about, like vitamin D. That's like the only one I'm going to talk about, which I don't have yet. I need to pick up some because, to be fair, other than like this last week in the heat wave, the UK is dark as anything and doesn't have enough sun to supply it all. But moving on, we're going to start with protein powder, and we're going to be talking about diet and regular. With plant-based whey, there's several pros. So these pros include: it's often easier to digest for the human body. It's usually more environmentally friendly, as you're not using anything from cows. I'm not too fussed about that personally. But moving on to the next pro, it's suitable for vegans. Obviously they would care. But I'm not a vegan and I'm not bothered. But it's also really good for people that are lactose intolerant. And when I think the stat is like 10% of the world is lactose intolerant. I think I read that somewhere. But so it's really good. However, there's cons to the pros as well. Sometimes it's not sometimes, pretty much all the time it's a low protein content than regular whey per scoop. It may have a grittier texture because it's it's made out of plants. Really, when you're trying to get protein powder out of plants, it's going to be gritty, or a different taste. So if you buy a chocolate plant-based whey, it's probably not going to taste like chocolate. But moving on, we've got the regular protein powder, and there's pros for this as well. See, it's complete protein, which means it's I'm trying not to shadow myself. It's complete protein, meaning it is easier for the body to absorb. It typically tastes quite smooth, depending on what you mix with it, whether it's suitable for milk or cold water with ice or whatever. Depends how you mix it, as you're always going to get a smoother blend if you put it in a blender and smack that on full whack for like 30 seconds rather than shaking it for 30 seconds. But it depends on what facilities you have, and if you have the time for a blender to then clean it and all the stuff like that. Cons: 1, it's not vegan, so if you're vegan, no point even trying it, or lactose intolerant once again. It could cause digestive issues, so like lactose intolerant, but if it does do that, you're not going to be silly, you're going to go to the other option, plant-based, where if you're bothered about protein powder, that is, you're going to move on to that. It often also comes with artificial ingredients, so things like more sugar, which, especially for me on the cut, it's, at least it says all the calories on the thing. I always level out my scoop of my protein to make sure that I'm calculating every last macro to the fine dot detail. Moving on to our next supplement, we've now got pre-workout. Pros: obviously, it gives an amazing energy juice It gives an amazing energy boost before your set, not before your set, before your whole workout. It increases your focus, which could then lead to enhancing performance, as you can use more of your energy and focus it more into a solid pattern. So say on a chest press, there's going to be more muscle fibers focusing, or since you can focus better, you can focus more on getting those muscle fibers working, making you push more, also with that energy boost as well if you're feeling sluggish. However, there's plenty of cons to pre-workout. Obviously there could be possible heart issues if you're overdosing, which I've gone close to a few times. But anyways, it can cause a crash later on if you're having it quite late. But the problem is with that crash, well, it doesn't matter when you take it, you're always pretty much going to crash. But another thing with that is that even if you do crash, there's still caffeine running through your system, which is still going to stop you from sleeping, so never take it past a certain time. Normally see a GP or something about that, as it can be quite dangerous. Same as energy drinks and coffee, don't have them at stupid nights, or sugar-free or non-sugar-free sodas, as they also contain caffeine, like Coke. That normally contains about 60 milligrams in a can, I think it is. Also has so many some of them could have so many unnecessary additives. Although a good thing about some pre-workouts is the beta-alanine. It does suck ass when you get scratches. That doesn't mean it's working and it's kicked in. It means the beta-alanine's kicked in. But what the beta-alanine actually does is it improves your muscular, it improves your muscular recovery speed. So especially when you're in the gym, resting in between those sets, that beta-alanine kicks that recovery period into hyperdrive, so you can recover better for your next set, meaning you can keep on pushing heavier. Obviously if you get a non-stim pre-workout, you get all the added benefits other than the energy boost and the crashes on the cons, and potential sleepless nights if you have at a stupid time. But then moving on, we've now got creatine. Creatine is a great supplement. It really is. It's one of the most researched ones. Some people are still humming and hawing about it. I remember the first time I was trying to get my parents to get me in, they thought, this guy's going on steroids. But anyways, it supports muscles growth, improves strength, and like I've already said, it's well studied. Cons, it may cause water retention. I have noticed that, especially in my cheeks and stuff, my belly. It really sucks when I'm on the cut, because I see progress made and then water retention happens and I feel like I've gone back. But once all that water flushes out, I'm back to feeling confident again with my progress. And with creatine as well, is that a lot of people might have a stomach discomfort from it, from the digestive process of it. That's why you're always supposed to mix it with a drink, especially water, because if you're dry scooping it then drinking, it's like trying to take some tablets without water. Your body's not going to be able to digest it correctly. For vitamin D, one of the ones that I do not take, a pro of this, it supports bone health, boosts immunity, especially in low sunlight areas like the UK. And too much can lead to toxicity. It's pretty much the same with everything I'm talking about today. And it's best to monitor the levels. Moving on to the next supplement, omega-3. I do take that when I remember it. I always forget to take it, but it is what it is. But the pros for this, supports heart health, which is good, especially when I'm pumping myself with caffeine. It reduces inflammation and is great for brain function. I haven't got that pro yet. My brain's still on nothing. Cons, have a fishy aftertaste. It depends on the brand you get, and some sources might be less sustainable than others. But the thing is, the more sustainable ones can be more expensive, which has a problem with all these supplements, is that the better they are, the more expensive they get. And sometimes if you get really shitty cheap ones, that's where the problems start to kick in, when your pre-workout's got and no caffeine, but like 700 billion milligrams of beta alanine. So you're shaking from ants crawling over your skin, but you've actually not raised your heart rate one bit. You've not got any energy in you because it's got like no caffeine. But anyways, that's it for all the supplements. Moving on, we now have things I use in the gym, like equipment. So one of the main ones I use is a cuff. I use the cuff quite often, as you've seen in the previous video. That I use for my tricep extensions. Well, it's more like that. What, bam! I've hit my fan. Whoops. And I also use for Y raises while being led down. I don't use it for much else. Although it is a great addition, as it makes my tricep extensions, obviously it just takes away my grip completely, which when you start going heavy it really doesn't have an effect, especially on Y raises, because I did it one time without cuffs because the gym was running low on them. Basically everybody was using them on the same day because I went at peak time, had to use handles, and since the weight's like there, not even at the strongest point of your grip, and you're trying to pull at the same time, it like takes your toll on your wrist, and you've kind of like got to, at the end of the set you're normally like holding it like that with just your fingers and your wrists all the way curled in, so your forearm starts taking a massive blow. Moving on to the next one, I used to use wrist wraps, don't use them anymore. I use them sometimes because I have, obviously with me playing rugby, I do injure my wrist sometimes, which causes my wrist to be a little bit weak or just not feeling up to it on the day. I did use my wrist wraps. They were good, although I don't use them anymore, like I said, as I like to build that natural strength in my wrists. Then moving on, we've got the straps. Any strap you want, like the quick straps. I've got a pair of quick straps and regular straps. The quick straps are good, but I don't like using them on like heavy loads like an SLDR or a deadlift, as well. I don't think they're really built for that as much. But I love both of them. However, I'd normally go with the traditional long strap with like the rubber grip on the outside. I use those on lat pull down, SLDL, deadlift, T-bar row. If I'm doing a close grip row, I've kind of moved away from them now, but I'll still use them I'll still do it if I have to. But obviously I do a lat pullover now, same movement, I just feel more stability in it. So with that, I use that on all of them. I sometimes use it on my leg extensions and my leg curls, as it just helps me keep proper like tight in, especially when I'm doing really heavy loads on them. Stops me from raising my whole body up and means I don't have to rely on my grip as much to hold me down. But yeah, and then we've also got the belt. The belt's been used not on the YouTube before, but recently got an AQF belt that set me back about 50 quid, but it's better that you get a high standard belt, as they're very important for keeping your spine intact, especially on squats under heavy loads, because your back starts to struggle. Helps you brace your core, brace your back a lot better. I would always suggest to get a more expensive one, especially a lever one. Don't get a belt buckle one. I've used both. I prefer the lever one. Only problem with the lever one is that you can't share it with your friends. Discovered that one out myself as well. It's screwed in, so unless you and your friends have the exact same waist size, it's not going to work. So I'm pretty sure that's all the equipment I use in the gym, that I own, not own, because I don't own cuffs, but that I actually use quite often, because I don't use squatting shoes. I normally squat barefoot or with flat based shoes, same with SLDLs. As well, right now I don't think I really need them. I'm not going that heavy. I don't have any knee sleeves, elbow wraps, elbow sleeves, knee wraps. I don't have any of that yet. Don't think I'm going heavy enough on anything to have to use them yet. I don't have any joint pain through my exercises. But that's all for today. Just a little rant about what I use, as sometimes I get asked, sometimes I don't. People just they're being nosy, but it's not a bad thing they're being nosy. They just want to know what I use. and it's all like recommendations and stuff. I used to take back to supplements as well. Used to take a bit of ashwagandha as well. Not really anymore. I didn't talk about zinc and magnesium actually. Whoops. We'll move on to that now. So zinc and magnesium, take that before bed. Helps me relax a lot better. What the zinc and magnesium does, they say it boosts testosterone levels. I wouldn't be surprised if it does. That's not the reason I'm taking it though. I'm personally taking it as it helps my muscles recover and relax overnight while I sleep. Also helps me sleep a little bit better as well. So it helps me recover a lot better for the next sessions ahead during the week. But that is all for today. There'll be another one tomorrow. We've got a push day tomorrow. I'm either going to do it at the gym at work or Pure Gym. My laptop went into like darkish mode, but it's dependent on, because I'm working 10:30 till 6:30 tomorrow. By the time I get the bus, I'll have no time to work out at my main gym, Heroes. So I've just got to do a pros and cons list of which gym would be better for a push day. Probably going to go to Pure Gym, seems like the better option. Might ask if a few people want to go there at the same time, but I'll see how that is. Obviously see in the video tomorrow, although got to be up bright and early though. Got to be up about 6:30 because I've got to wake up, go to Asda, because I've got to go grab some Greek yogurt, some mints, a couple other things as well. So Greek yogurt and stuff is for breakfast. That'll be a nice breakfast, and then I've also got to have the mints for my lunch at work tomorrow, just for all my meal prep. And then tomorrow is burgers and pulled pork for dinner by Father Dearest, but I will have to cook it myself when I get home really late and then edit the video. But anyways, that's all for now. I will see you tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow, I won't see you personally, but you will see me, and I will see your viewers, your views on the video tomorrow. Hope everybody has a good rest of their night. Good night everyone. I'm going to edit this, get some sleep. Love you guys.